Hey guys, this will be a tips and tricks video for Monte Carlo regarding the Flatout trophy. I will show you a stage run from the Colin McRae DLC to give you an idea what to expect from Monte Carlo as a location. But before we get into the run, what can we expect from this location? First of all, it's a tarmac location, but with a combination of dry tarmac, icy tarmac, and slightly snowy surface. Not as snowy as Sweden though. When you're given the chance to change tires in the surface area, always go with soft tires in the flat-out scenarios, because you'll gain a lot of time when driving in the dry tarmac. That is where you want to be fast, while you just have to be a little more cautious through the icy areas. Don't use the handbrake too much in Monte Carlo. You can use it for very sharp corners or hairpins, or when you understeer, but other than that, just use the brakes or lift. On snowy areas, use Scandinavian flick when possible, and use the handbrake if you don't get enough rotation through corners. So this stage will be played with manual transmission and no assists. You can add a little bit of stability control if you feel like more comfortable with a little bit of assist, but I actually recommend using no assists whatsoever. Once you get used to it and you do it on this stage, you can get some extremely fast times. The good thing about this Monte Carlo stage, the scenario I'm using here to demonstrate the run is the 1995 Monte Carlo scenario. And even though the time is not too difficult to beat, but the stage can be a bit hard, especially if you're not used to the icy and snowy environment. You will get further into the snowy and icy environment once you get to like the latter half, and in the beginning, there's not really any ice, so you can just push it there. And if you're afraid you can't get a fast time at the latter half, just get a fast time at the first half of the stage. That would be my advice if you don't think you can pull off a very fast time throughout the whole stage. But I'm going to show you how to get a somewhat fast time, and I'm going to show you what to look out for in this stage. I'm going to use the first stage as a demonstration run from the 1995. Alright, hard on the power until you get to fourth gear. You gear down to second and then do the turn here. You don't have to use the handbrake, just turn. Unless you're understeering, then do a slight handbrake turn. Some corners are a bit sharp, so it's okay to use the handbrake. But it's all about pushing it hard in the first half of the stage. Handbrake, just a little bit. I hit the edge just a little bit here, so you want to be careful with that, but still stay close to the apex. It's all about being fast here, so just push it hard on the power, then gear down to second when you enter the corner, close to the apex. Get close to the apex here, and gear up. And we're about to... Okay, here you just want to stay in third gear. And then there will be a long hairpin corner here. So when you enter these long hairpin corners, one thing you want to do to get the racing line down is enter the corner slightly wide and then exit the corner narrow. So you exit the corner close to the apex. So you enter wide, even though I'm not entering too wide here, but you want to enter slightly wider than I am doing. And then once you exit, you want to exit close to the apex. Go down a second. And there's another hairpin corner. This hairpin corner we're about to enter here is shorter, so you want to stay close to the apex all the way through, from the beginning to the end. That way you can exit much faster. Close to the apex, handbrake, slight clutch. In general, you just want, there are so many corners here, long corners, or I mean fast corners, and you just want to, when you exit each corner, you just want to stay close to the apex, stay close to the inside of the corner. We're about to approach a hairpin here. It's a wide hairpin, it's a long hairpin, so you want to enter wide and then exit inside of the apex, close to the apex. So what I'm saying here is enter, slightly wide. You're slightly wide here, you're not too close to the apex, and then when you exit, you want to exit like in. So you want to exit close to the apex. So you want to get close to the people, but not inside the grass. Enter wide, exit narrow. And here's a short hairpin again. You want to enter the close to the apex all the way from the beginning to the end. So don't go wide here. Here you want to be careful when you turn. So this how to exit this corner fast is to stay close to the apex here. Stay close to the left side. And here's another corner, tricky corner. It's not tricky, but you kind of underestimate it. So it's a long, sharp corner, and you want to do a little braking before you get here, and then go all the way down to second gear. And then use the handbrake slightly. And when you enter this corner, there will be a bit of ice here, so you want to stay on the right side as much as possible to stay close to the apex, so you don't drive on the left side where there's ice. Stay on the right side, so you don't hit the ice. Starts to get a little icy here, so careful with the throttle. And there's a slight jump here. You want to stay inside, so you want to stay on the right side. And here you want to brake slightly, and then go down to third gear and turn. Just turn, don't use the handbrake. And here you should have maybe, so you can see I'm going early to fourth gear here, because I just want to stabilize the car. So here I'm already going to fourth gear, stabilize the car, a little hard on the power, and there'll be a slight turn here. You just lift it while you're at fifth gear, lift, and then hard on the power, and then go down to second gear. This is a long hairpin corner. Wide in, narrow out. And when I'm saying wide in, I don't mean like you have to go really wide. It's just slightly wide. Just don't get too close to the apex when you're entering the corner. So let's try this again. Slightly wide, and then close to the apex when you're exiting. Here you want to brake a little earlier, go down to second gear, and do the turn. So lift a little bit, go down to fourth gear. Just manage your throttle. And then go down to third gear here, just do a turn. No need to handbrake. Yeah, okay, so maybe you should have gone down to second gear. You see, I've stayed in third gear. And then I went down to second gear way too late, so I was stalling a little bit. Be careful here. There's a bit of zigzag movement going on. Good. Steering. Careful, third gear. Go down to second gear here, and then brake, slightly turn. Here you want to be careful as well. You want to lift close to the turn here. Oh, sorry. This was not the corner I was thinking about. So this is just a hairpin corner. So you just tackle it like any long hairpin. But I'm turning way too early. I'm going way too in to the apex. I need to go a little wider and then exiting a little narrower. So you see, I say I'm too far from the apex when I'm exiting. You see here? This is how it's supposed to look when I enter the corner. Like I'm like doing the opposite. So I'm entering the corner very narrow, and then I'm exiting very wide. So I should be doing the opposite. I should be entering slightly wider than here, and then I should be exiting a little narrow, more closer to the apex. But it's all good. Just note that. And another hairpin corner. I stay in second gear here. Okay. I clipped the snow there, but it's alright. So handbrake. Slight clutch kick. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to cut here, am I? So you want to be careful here. Maybe lift a little bit, just so you don't fall off the road here on the left, on the right side. There's a little gap between the trees. Yeah, you want to be careful with that. So you want to lift, turn. Go down to second gear here. Go down to second gear. Not enough rotation. So you want to use the handbrake a little bit here. Or maybe it's not the handbrake that's the problem. Maybe I just gotta lift the throttle up. I gotta lift a little earlier. I need to lift a little longer so I can get more into the apex. But it's okay. So close to the apex. Careful of the turns here. Get close to the apex here. And here you want to be careful. You want to push a little bit, but you want to lift when you get close to this this slight turn. You don't want to hit the wall. Almost did. And here you also want to be careful because you can potentially get a penalty for once you get further here. There are people on the right side. Once you get here, if you just get close to them, if you get close to the people on the right side, you will get a 4-second penalty or something like that. So you want to stay on the left side as much as possible. When you enter this place, be careful. You might want to lift a little earlier, maybe even brake a little. And I stay in third gear here. I just lift here and turn, so I don't hit the people or get close to them. And then hard on the power. Lift a little bit. Hard on the power again. Okay, maybe that is bad advice. It's not hard on the power, but just manage your throttle here. What I'm trying to say is just, now is the time to push it a little bit. So here, you were doing a bit of lifting, so you avoided all the people. And here, you can start speeding up again. Fourth gear. Not hard on the power, just manage your throttle. And that's a turn here. Just go down to second gear or first gear. I think I went down to second. So I hit the rear of my car. So the mistake I did here is not only I went too wide, but I was pushing the throttle too much. I have to lift a little more. use the handbrake and just lift. I was just pushing the throttle all the way down. The mistake I made was I just had to manage the throttle a little more. Maybe I didn't use... I think my racing line was... I was entering narrow, quite narrow. I had to go a little wider next time. The turn here, you want to be careful you don't fall off the road here on the right side. Go down to second gear and then third gear again. And here's where it starts to get icy and snowy. So I just push it to fifth gear and then go down to fourth gear here. And then turn. The important thing here is when you get to the snowy area, you want to use the Scandinavian flick when possible. You don't have to go like full range, but you can sometimes just do a slight Scandinavian flick just to get a better turn. Sometimes it's not even necessary to use the handbrake. So, a little bit of Scandi flick here, just to get a better turn. Scandi flick again. Go down to second gear and Scandi flick for better rotation. Not even using the handbrake yet. You see? And then I was using the handbrake here because I was understeering. So whenever you understeer, just use the handbrake yank the handbrake as fast as possible, so you don't stall. Go down to second gear. A little bit of handbrake. Scandi flick. A little bit of Scandi flick here. Oh, I hit the rear end of my car. Be careful. Here use a bit of... No. So I'm getting close to the wall quite early. I have to do it a little later than here. Yeah. Go down to second gear. A little bit of Scandi flick. See, I'm not even using the handbrake. So the Scandinavian flick is very useful here, when possible. And this is also a good thing to note is the reason why I'm getting so close to the wall here is because so I don't hit the snowbanks on the right side. Go down to second gear. Using a little bit of handbrake. Scandi flick. Oh, careful. Okay, this area is really weird. So many of my runs, I always hit the snow here on the right side. So I'm entering this area here very weird to begin with. So it almost seems like I'm prepared to do a Scandi flick too early. So what you want to do is you just want to release the throttle a little earlier than I do. Just release the throttle earlier than I do here and get on with the power. Go down to second gear. And we're almost at the finish line. Go down to second. We're almost at the finish line. And the finish line is ahead of us on the right side. So you want to when you enter this place here, or like you're about to get to the finish line, steer the car more to the right side, obviously. But you have to do it a little earlier than you might think. And you see, that was the run. So yeah, I hope the run has been somewhat useful, and I will of course show you my DS4 settings. The DS4 settings, so you can copy all of this. These are the same settings I use all the time on every stage, every car. So there's no... Oh yeah, if I'm going too fast, you can just pause. So these are the button mapping choices I've made. I think that's about it. Yeah. Manual transmission, ABS off, stability control off, traction control off, so no assists, manual transmission. So that was the run, and the explanations. I hope this has been useful. If I can just help just a few people out, that would have made my day. If you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Thank you for watching.